Yo, what's up, guys? Terrell here to bring you Sket Dance episode 54 review. This is kind of a more serious tone episode. I guess the best type of episode to relate to this is kind of like Drops, or what is it, the Glass Man, or the Paint Dude, the Paint, what is it, like the Paint Splatterer from like the first few episodes. It's one of those series episodes. And I actually have a question relating to this. It's to defeat the fortune teller, even though it's titled "Get the Fortune Teller." I don't remember Saya being at the beginning with that whole. They do Boston's. They look at Boston's horoscope, and it's like, tomorrow you're probably gonna die. Here's my question for those of you who read the manga, like the two of you, because for some reason Skate Dance isn't popular. For season 2, are they adding Saya into stories that she technically isn't a part of? Like, is the reason why she's hiding in the background in a lot of these episodes that ain't focused with her in it because she's not technically in these chapters in the manga, and for the anime they're just throwing her in as like a sideshow? That's why you don't actually see her doing any of the main stuff during these situations. Because that's what I think it is. I don't really mind because I like Saya. In terms of between Saya and Koma, I prefer Saya over Koma. Even though I do like Koma, but I like Saya more. But anyways, I kind of like this episode because it is a Switch-themed episode for the most part. From what I heard, this episode is cool, but a lot of people weren't really. The thing is, this is like the first second season series episode we got. And the thing is that most of Skate Dance episodes are either like the backstory seriousness or like comedy. And then you have like the sprinkle of these random serious episodes in between. That's what this is a serious episode. Even though you wouldn't think that from the fucking preview. It's essentially what happens is that Yuki, which is, you know, the grudge girl, is she's practicing fortune telling from that she kind of learned through her little new idol, Minakami, I believe is how you pronounce her name. Minakami, who is like this famous fortune teller who's on TV and who's old as shit. And Himiko has a reading with her, and Saya goes with her. And honestly, what this episode is really kind of focused around. It's kind of focused around the whole Yuki fortune telling thing, mixed with subtle hints relating back to the whole romance thing. Because like Himiko and Saya are like walking down the hall, and Himiko is like, I wonder if Yuki can tell me about my future health or my studies. And then she stutters and says romance. And then you see Saya and she's like, well, I don't really like anyone, so I don't have to worry about that. But they're both blushing and laughing. So obviously the Boston shit is going to become an issue later. Which I found funny because next week's preview is more comedy oriented. And another Chew experiment gone wrong episode. Which I like those episodes. I look forward to that. But anyways, essentially what happens is that Switch notices that she's on some bullshit because she's like, because Yuki's like, to protect yourself from bad luck, wear this. It's like, it's only 6,000 yen. It's like, wait a minute. And Switch is like, suppose I paid for this. Where's the money going to? Oh, it's going to Mikami Sensei, of course. What's the problem? He's like, oh god, you're obviously being scammed here. And so, I believe Boston goes that we need to have a meeting with this Mikami person. And essentially what ends up happening is through a whole bunch of banter going back and forth, she wants to prove Skate Dance wrong in a public setting, and is going to read essentially Boston's fortune only using his name and his age. No, his name and his birthday, which she got before the reading. And the day of the reading, first off, Switch and her about. I sort of got Switch has like a lot of banter here, and I really like it because he's not being like a trolling dick. He's actually being serious because he's literally disproving everything about her type of fortune telling, which is kind of like you're basing it on random things that he said unconsciously or subconsciously, and you're using that to quote unquote guess his future, even though he's technically telling you, but he's not aware of it. He's subconsciously telling you these things. Because she had a reading before them. And I kind of like that whole banter because he was so cool and serious with it. There's also something he says at the end I thought was really nice. But anyways, she goes to read Boston's fortune. And honestly, this is kind of telegraphed because of you can actually tell looking at Boston the plot twist that happens right after the fact. Because essentially she guesses like his entire backstory. Like the fact that his parents are dead, he's adopted into this new family with a little sister, he has a twin brother that he just found out about recently, all that. And she's like, oh, I win. He's like, yeah, I'm right. And then it's revealed that it's Tsubaki, which I think is a nice correlation. The fact that like the last season 1 episode kind of went into the fact that they kind of can't look like each other. So that's what Tsubaki does, is like don a Boston hat and the wig and does the dumbass face, even though you can still tell it's him because of his eyes. That's why I said it was kind of telegraphed. Because his face, he wasn't really doing a dumbass face. Honestly, he looked like Tsubaki. The only thing that made him, the thing that made him stick out was his eyes. Like his eyes is kind of, he has his mother's eyes, while Fujisaki has his dad's eyes. That's how I could tell. And essentially, she gets busted, and Yuki kind of sees the light. And there's something at the end he likes. There's something at the end Switch mentions. He's like, I don't mind fortune telling or horoscopes. The problem I have with fortune tellers is they never take responsibility for their bad fortunes. And he's like, and besides that, I don't like this idea that fate is determined by a clock. And I was like, that is some nice shit, Switch. That is some deep shit. I like that. I also like the fact that he ends up picking another fight with him. Honestly, the episode is more serious than anything else. The only comedy moment is the Shinzo jokes, which is Shinzo has like this fucking this parody iPhone, and instead of like the circle on the bottom, it's like a triangle and shit, and it's like orange for no damn reason. He's like, I checked on my smartphone that on my horoscope, I'm going to meet a lovely maiden today. And it's just like this whole funny trolling thing with Shinzo. And then at the end, he also is at the whole reading with Saya while they're watching the whole spectacle unfold. Also, I like the fact that Sket Dance ends up teaming up with the student council to do this. Because the student council kind of comes out of nowhere to explain, to kind of give the proof that she keeps bitching about that they don't have. Even though they just proved that you were trying to read Boston's future off of Tsubaki, which makes no damn sense. Even though you should have been able to do it because of the auras you sense, which obviously tells you that Mikami's full of shit. Honestly, that's really what the episode is, and a lot of people weren't huge fans of it because the series episodes don't necessarily go great for Sket Dance, but I liked it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I would still say I prefer the last 2 episodes. Well, yeah, I prefer the last 2 episodes. I was gonna argue for Coma, but nah, I probably prefer it for Coma's too. Because Comas is still funny for physical comedy. But honestly, I'm more looking forward to next week's because next week's is going to be apparently Chusan mixed another soda with fucked up chemicals. Boston drinks it, and he's on some weird emotional transformation kind of shit. And Saya looks like she's directly in this one, so this should be pretty funny. I'm actually looking forward to that one a lot. But this episode was fun. I enjoyed it. You know, I like serious Switch now and again because you know when he trolls for a while, it's nice to have to kind of have him grounded. Even though I can see why people didn't like the episode because it's kind of telegraphed. Like you're pretty telegraphed on the Tsubaki stuff once you see him in the once you see them at the fucking actual showdown, and it's telegraphed about what they're gonna do with the Mikami at the beginning. When fucking Yuki mentions the fact that she's selling her charms and that she does, and then Mikami gets all the profit. So that's essentially it for the review. And I know this is probably shorter than my other ones, but enjoy. Besides that, I'm eating DiGiorno right now, and I want to finish that. But yeah. So thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I thought it was a good episode. Really looking forward to next week's just for the comedy aspect of it all. And that's it. So this has been the vlogs again from your boy Terrell. Sket Dance, what's so awesome? And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.